Anita madam. Anita madam. అనుపూర్ణ మేడం శ్రీమన్ మాట్లాడుతున్నా 2 minutes లో స్టార్ట్ అవుతారు మేడం. సుశీల మేడం చెప్పారు
చెప్పండి.
2 minutes లో స్టార్ట్ అవుతారంట మేడం చెప్పారు.
ఓకే అండి, ఓకే అండి.
టెక్నికల్ ఇష్యూ ఉందంట మేడం. 5 o'clock అలా వైండ్ అప్ చేయమంటున్నారు ఫాస్ట్ గా.
ఫాస్ట్ గా
5 o'clock 5
ఓకే అండి,
క్లోజ్
ఫాస్ట్ గా
అవుతుందంట.
చెప్పేస్తాను.
ఓకే మేడం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
శ్రీమాన్ గారు
ఎస్ మేడం.
స్లైడ్స్ షేర్ మీరు చేస్తారా?
చేయమంటారా? ఓకే మేడం చేస్తాను.
ఓకే అండి. నిమిషం. మేడం ఇప్పుడు మాట్లాడరు. వినిపించదు. లేదు లేదు, ఫోన్ లోనే వినిపిస్తుంది. వినిపించట్లేదు.
అనిత
వినిపిస్తుంది మేడం.
So we have started a idea. This is dedicated parts that say no to violent against. This is what is that. This is basically gender environment of gender environment. So article the shaman so internet sexual assault activities out there so our types of violence and doctors even educate and media and the mindset develops from so we all want to know what is that and then how to create a gender neutral system. Okay. So as I'm which is being the president of Federation of Knowledge and Values. So this is the green project or president of the so first starting the video, then we start the presentations. Sriman?
Yes, ma'am.
Anita? Yeah. Sriman? Sriman?
No, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, video share Dheera.
Okay, madam.
Dear friends, Foxians, and the women of my country, I am Dr. Shanta Kumari, President of the Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecological Societies of India. As a doctor and a woman myself, I have observed very closely how prevalent violence against women is across the strata of our society and the enormous impact it has on the health of our women. My theme for the year as the President Foxy is Foxy for all always and Dheera, stop violence against women.
Dr. Shanta Kumari, who has relentlessly campaigned for the issues of girl child. I was happy to be the ambassador of Foxy Figure Ox in 2013, and I hope that me being an ambassador has motivated a lot of girls and many families.
Violence against women is a serious human rights violation, leading to injury and sometimes even death. Unfortunately, 1 in 3 women experience some sort of physical and sexual violence during their lifetime. Violence in pregnancy is also widely prevalent, leading to unwanted pregnancies, unsafe abortions, neglected pregnancies with no antenatal care, all these contributing to maternal morbidity and near miss. As obstetricians and gynecologists, we have a great opportunity to assess and support women who experience violence because of the unique opportunity where we get to see them during the pregnancy, during the family planning visits, during their annual checkups, and multiple other times when they come to us. I strongly believe that by eliminating the violence against women, we are not only reaching the SDG goals, but also creates a just and equal society for our women. Until we make men and boys active partners, we can never end the violence against women. In an endeavor to sensitize our own fraternity, my initiative of Dheera was started to eliminate violence against women.
I completely support her vision and mission as President Foxy and also especially support her campaign, Dheera, Stop Violence Against Women.
It was in 2016 at the launch of Dheera. We brought together the police, the obstetrician gynecologists, and the National Commission for Women, the women and men on one single platform to wear orange and say no to violence against women. We organized the public forum and cyclothon to launch Dheera. In 2017 at the Foxy Figo Congress, we partnered with men and organized the bikeathon and the flash mob. The high point of Dheera was at the International Figo Congress at Rio, Brazil in 2018. The declaration on no to violence against women was signed with Figo and WHO. It was here global societies pledged their support to end this violence against women. The Dheera campaign and march at the World Congress of Figo in Rio in 2018 got wide international publicity. No change is possible unless the young minds adopt it and make it a part of their life. Young minds are open and creative. They accept change. Foxy has always worked with adolescents for their health and well-being. Dheera this year adds a new page. I'm happy to share with you all that we are launching the Dheera online school certification course across the length and breadth of our country in all the schools. Foxy for all always. Dheera, stop violence against women.
Message by Andrea. So I think all understood what we want. Okay. So the start with first. Just start.
శ్రీమాన్ గారు స్లైడ్ షేర్ చేయరా?
Shall start with the first part. This is by Dr. She's gone into so she's going to tell us what is violence against women and then types of violence. Over to you, Anu.
Good afternoon to everyone. I'm Dr. Annapurna talking from Newsweek. Today I'm going to talk about 2 topics. Those are what is violence against women and what is Dheera play into it. Next slide, Andy. So the agenda of Dheera is to increase awareness of Dheera, war, types of war, and the management of war and peer pressure. Next slide, Andy. So what is Dheera? Dheera ante courageous, the power of being together. This slide says not all men practice violence against women, but all women live with the threat of male violence every single day all over the earth, because violence against women is most prevalent. Next slide. Children, is anyone aware of any woman being beaten, threatened, or scolded at home? Do you think this is right? What is such behavior called? And is there any word to describe it? Next slide, Emily. Such behavior is called violence against women. So violence against women is the most shameful human rights violation. It is most widespread. It knows no boundaries of geography, culture, or wealth. As long as it continues, there is no real progress towards equality, development, and peace. What exactly is war? War is forcing a woman to live in fear. That may be mentally, sexually, and physically. What are the causes of war? There are many causes, out of which toxic masculinity, gender bias, patriarchal society, gender stereotyping, and sexism are few. So we are going to discuss each one of them. What is gender bias? Gender bias is preference for males. Girls are considered as burden. Feticide and infanticide is due to gender bias. Due to this gender bias, female health issues are neglected. This is another cause of war, that is patriarchy. What is patriarchy? A system of society or government in which men hold power and women are largely excluded from it. Decision making rests with the this decision making rests with the male in the family. Next slide. So what is gender stereotyping? Gender stereotyping is something like this, that girls should always be faithful, emotional, tolerant, sympathetic, and dependent, whereas boys are competitive, logical, strategic, aggressive, and independent. Sexism is a prejudice discriminating typically against women based on sex or gender. For example, if someone on the road drives badly, we lightly say that it should be the driving person will be a woman. So that's an example for sexism. Toxic masculinity ante I'm a man, I'm strong, I don't cry, I can control myself, I'm the boss, I'm the savior, and feel out. Next, and then. So why doctors women want to talk about war? Because we gynecologists are points of contact who can recognize changes in the lifestyle, and most of the health problems of women and even pregnant women have roots in violence. That is what we have observed. And why Dheera? Next. And Dheera is a campaign founded by our Foxy president, Dr. Shanta Kumari madam, to stop violence against women. And WAR campaign is an initiative to sensitize, orient, and train 36,000 plus obstetrician and gynecologists and 5 lakh plus boys and girls and 15,000 teachers plus teachers. Next slide. Next slide, please. So children, say no to violence against women and tweet hashtag Dheera to make this campaign a success. Next slide. This is a reminder slide that you have to go through the post-test and feedback. So we have seen what is war. Now we will see what are the types of war. These are they're broadly classified as physical violence, psychological violence, and combination of those two. Physical violence includes like acid attacks, honor killings, femicide, sexual violence. Psychological violence includes financial manipulation, emotional abuse, bullying, stalking, eve teasing, criminal intimidation, and both combined happens in domestic violence. Next slide. So what is physical violence? Physical violence ante enti? Ante acid attacks. Acid attack ante a form of assault involving throwing a corrosive substance onto another, sometimes used as a form of blackmail. Chapak movie చూసారు కదా, అందులో that is an example for a acid attack, and the survivor has gone a lot throughout her life and she finally fought against the attacker. So if such things happen, what can you do? If the attack is threatened or attempted, report to trusted adult or police. Make sure you stay away from the person threatening. Always travel with others. And under section 326B IPC, this is punishable and there will be imprisonment for up to 7 years. If you are attacked, report attack to a doctor. Make sure you get medical help as soon as possible. Report attack to an adult. Talk to your parents, teachers, police, or anyone you trust. Make sure you stay away from the perpetrator of crime. Report to another authority. Section 326A can be charged, and this leads to imprisonment not less than 10 years, which may extend to life. Fine charged to meet the medical expenses of the victim. What is honor killing? Honor killing and murder of an individual, either an outsider or a member of a family, used to protect reputation of the family, as it is believed that the victim brought disrespect to the family. Femicide ante gender-based crime arises when society prefers males over females. It can take forms of woman-based hate crime, infanticide. Infanticide ante killing a newborn female child. Feticide ante abortion of fetuses based on genders. Ante puttaka munde champedam. So what is sexual assault? An act in which a man sexually touches a woman or compels her to get naked forcefully and without outward consent. This is punishable under section 354 IPC with 5 years 1 to 5 years imprisonment and a fine. This causes long-term mental trauma to the victim. If you see sexual assault taking place, don't be quiet, stop it, or call help, even if it is your friend. Even the abuser is your friend. So everyone knows this Nirbhaya Act. It's introduced in 2013, and under this section 375 IPC, women are protected against any type of rape. And sexual assault inko act undi, POXO Act, that is assault against minors. If it is that covers assault against minors. Next slide. So if you are a sexual assault survivor, what you should do? You should not be ashamed of yourself. You're not to blame. Don't take bath or wash yourself. Don't change your clothes. Write down what happened. Inform the police. Report in a timely manner so there is evidence. Don't be afraid to speak up, as you are never at fault and an abuser is bound to repeat actions. And the bystanders should always support the victim. What is psychological violence? It includes financial manipulation, where it involves making or attempting to make a person financially dependent by making total control over resources, withholding access to money, and or forbidding attendance at school or employment. Next slide. What is emotional abuse? Undermining a person's sense of self-worth through constant criticism. Most common examples are name calling, damaging a partner's relationship with children, not letting partners see friends or family. What are the signs of emotional abuse? Overacting for small things, controlling you, telling you how to dress, humiliating or embarrassing you, feeling jealous when you're close to someone else. All these are the signs of emotional abuse. Bullying. We see this in a lot of Hollywood movies. This is continuous harassment, either verbal or physical. Can be in the form of cyberbullying or ragging. Next slide. Next slide, please. What is cyberbullying? It's online form of bullying and abuse. When technology is used to write aggressive, embarrassing or hateful messages to peers in order to intimidate, harass, shame, and control. It includes threatening and abusive text messages, creation of embarrassing images or videos, and sharing them, creating fake accounts, stealing online identities, sharing sexually explicit messages. What can you do if you are being cyberbullied? Check platform's anti-bullying policy. Get in contact with the customer service representatives if confused. Blocking and report, then block and report. Make sure to collect this screenshots. File a criminal complaint. Approach the cyber investigation cell. You can report to a cyber cell from any city. If unable to report to cyber cell, lodge FIR or reach women-oriented she teams. Stalking. This is another form of emotional abuse when an individual follows a woman and repeatedly tries to contact her without consent. Can occur digitally. And under section 354 IPC, the culprit can be imprisoned for 3 years and be liable to fine. Next slide. Voyeurism. Watching or taking pictures of women without consent and without the knowledge of the woman. This is punishable under section 354 IPC. After more convictions, abuser can be imprisoned for 3 to 7 years. Eve teasing. ఇది మన తెలుగు సినిమాల్లో చాలా కనిపిస్తా ఉంటది. Obscene actions like unwanted remarks, sexual advances by a man to insult a woman in a public place is eve teasing. This is punishable under section 294 IPC and 509 IPC. Criminal intimidation. When someone is threatening to cause death, hurt grievously, or to destroy your property, this is a criminal intimidation, and under section 503 IPC, you can cause imprisonment for up to 2 years or fine, or both. What is sexual harassment? Unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, sexual remarks, showing pornography without consent, all constitute as sexual harassment. It can be reported under section 354A IPC, which is punishable. Next slide. Next slide. So we are done with physical abuse and psychological abuse. Now comes a combination of these, which is seen in domestic violence. Doesn't just have to be between a married couple. Any pattern of behavior used to maintain power or control over partner. So main issues are most victims of domestic violence do not know that they are being abused. It is hard to believe a trusted partner could be manipulative, can also be harassment from in-laws. Examples of domestic abuse are using intimidation, using emotional abuse, keeping in isolation, minimizing, denying and blaming, using male privilege, using economic abuse. Everything comes under domestic violence. Domestic violence. In domestic violence, this cycle of abuse happens where the abused initially this happens in married between wife and husband. So initially wife agrees and accepts all those abuse, and finally the husband apologizes her, so she keeps calm. She'll try to accept that everything is normal, and she pretends everything is normal. Again the abuse will start. This will be happening, and this will become a cycle. So to decrease this domestic violence, this Domestic Violence Act has been introduced in 2005. It covers physical, sexual, verbal and economic abuse, grants immediate protection, and punishes the abuser with imprisonment up to 3 years. Next slide. Ending war. We have to end war and take step at a time. This is a reminder slide. Be courageous. Come together. Let's tweet hashtag Dheera together and add your courageous voice to the conversation. Thank you.
So, can everybody tell what are the types of violence? ఓపెన్ చేయరా ఇదేనా పీపీటీ ఓపెన్ చేసుకున్నా షేర్స్ కదా పోస్ట్ శ్రీమాన్ శ్రీమాన్
మేడం యాక్సెస్ ఇచ్చా మేడం.
ఎనేబుల్ చేయండి కొంచెం.
చేశాను మేడం, చూడండి ఇప్పుడు.
అది కాదు కదండి డ్రైవ్ కదా తెలుసుందా డ్రైవ్ ఎక్కడండి కిందకి వస్తుంది డ్రైవ్ వస్తుంది డ్రైవ్ ఒక నిమిషం స్లైడ్ షో చేయరా ఇది పెట్టారా కనెక్షన్ So what are the management strategies and okay. So this is a short presentation related so what are the management strategies? So I am going to talk on the introduction part. Here we describe that we need to divide and provide some. So why is this what are the factors in our society works? So for the first, I can be much more alcohol and drugs. So we use them to So the form is so you can see So what is so what do you do if you are vegan? So so protect yourself by not be just keep that avoid reporting keep evidence of the record.
Sushila madam. Madam, voice break out, madam. మేడం వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది, ఇది సరిగ్గా వినిపించట్లేదు ఇక్కడ. ఏమన్నా అర్థం కాలేదు మేడం.
So one is going to say right. So so speak out, don't let your user problem from your wall. So we get your so believe your power and then take it okay. So there's no kind of we are don't let it forget that They are so next PPT better. So, speech one and then to act on it. Then later. Clarify so what are the types of so different. So what are the you have so area conversation start and the other start so that is not best plan. So you say to intervene and today you are and talk and then so these okay. Right. So that is what the so we can somebody that is called that is suppose the is happening in the bus and we can say so that is the very part. So it is a document. So first that I have not used one of the speaking so so we here okay, so the gold is only paid for a vote to do so. It's not for this child okay. So so the long stay, why did she go away? Why did she call her? Why did she go alone? Why did she call her husband and sister? This is all we never should that is what we want. It's So, courage is so courage so within the and within the body, our target is one right? And Anita? Anita?
Yeah, yeah.
Tendency fightings are distract being genuine diet. So
Shall I start? Yeah. PPT తెలుస్తుందా అక్కడ?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. Kids, you have been listening. Ippadaka, what is war? What are the types of war, violence against women? Everything you have been listening as for now. So why all this violence against women started? Because there's always a difference between a boy and a girl. Okay, so now we shall see how to look both of them as equals, how to break the inequality between these two genders. So what are the scenarios in which we feel that we are faced with gender differences, which we might not even realize that it is happening to us in our day-to-day lives? Even in this century where women are working, taking part in all the activities, and still there are lots of places where gender equality still exists. Okay, now how to change our thought process? Okay. So can you see these names like Shiva, Kashish, Harsha? So once you read these names, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Okay, Shiva means the name has to be given to a boy, kid only. Harsha means mostly we tend to think that the name holds for a girl. So gender differences starts from even from the naming of the person. If we find anybody, any boy having a name or short form that is similar to that of the girl's name, I'm sure that person would have undergone some teasing from their friends. Ha ha ha, look, your name is looking like the girl's name. So such kind of attitude should change. You might think that is normal, everybody might tease them, but no, that is where the gender differences starts off. Okay, so if you look at all these things, you can try doing this activity by yourself. You can take the copy from your teachers. So what are these? How will we divide these emotions to a male or a female? These are all general emotions. Generally, we think in our society, what we think that is male should be aggressive, they should be independent, they should feel like a leader, and so on and so forth. When it comes to the female, we'll be ticking boxes like she should be considerate, gentle, emotional. We will never tick emotional or a gentleness for a male. So why this happens? Why there is a difference? That is called gender stereotyping. Okay, we are used with the characterization of the male and the female in our day-to-day life, even in our movies. Okay, how the heroes are portrayed, they are portrayed to be very fit and they're ready to fight the enemies. They take care of the heroine and everything. But when you come to the heroine, how are they portrayed? They should good look, they should dress well, and they should take care of the hero and they should take care of the hero's family. Now, this is what a stereotyping means. Even our parents in general society in day-to-day life, they think boys should be punished severely, even resort to physical punishment, but they think girls cannot take up the physical punishment, but because they are generally weak and polite. So if a boy is little harsh and adamant, they say, okay, it's okay, he's a boy, he'll be like that. But they want their daughters, the girls should always be polite, humble, understanding, and adjusting. Okay, when the girls want to take any leadership position, they're not welcomed by everyone. But if a male becomes a leader, then he will be called out, he'll be congratulated, he'll be given a party and everything. So the difference between a boy and girl in day-to-day life, that is called as the gender stereotype. So do you think is gender bias a social evil? Do you think this will cause any evil things, evil development in the society? Of course, yes. Women are discriminated everywhere, especially in India. Women are taught to learn household work even at a tender age. They always are reminded that they have to behave submissively. Once you go to college and everything, what do they ask the boys? Okay, what you going to do? What you going to pursue? Where you going to work and everything? But when it comes to girls, what will they say? They will be asking the girls, okay, now you have to get married, you should have kids, you should be adjustable in your in-laws house and everything. So this is how, and women, they always expect women to have give importance, more importance to the family, kids, and then she should think about her job and their dreams. Now isn't this the evil thing that we are doing to the women? Women are, we don't have to treat women as goddesses, but we should treat women as a fellow human being. Okay, this, it is not a level playing field. Some countries still don't give women the rights to vote. They don't have equal access to education. Why? Even in India, male child is always preferred to the female child. Why do you think? They think male child being the heir or the successor, that means they have to take care of the family. When the parents grow old, then they think only the male child can take care of the old ailing parents. Female child, they'll get married, they'll go off to a different family, so they don't have the responsibility of taking care of the parents. No, that is not fair. Girl child or boy child, the parents responsibility should be shared by both of them. Even we know that child marriages, dowry system, even though it is against the law, it is still happening in our society, and that is what, and we keep hearing those things and we still live with it. Okay, since we are so used to it, we tend to think, okay, it's okay, it happens once in a while. It is not wrong. Giving dowry is not wrong. Only when you cross the limit and you harass the women, only then it is wrong. No, that should not be the attitude. Whatever it is, child marriage, dowry system, everything is showing that there is gender stereotype. We should break all these kinds of gender stereotype. We should work together. We should support each other and create a society that is gender neutral. Should not be difference between a boy and a girl. It should be together, and both of them should take equal responsibilities while taking any for going ahead for anything in the society. We should not be satisfied like, okay, if the boy doesn't crime or doesn't do any crime or doesn't do any violence, it is okay. Whether he's angry or he speaks abusive languages, it is okay. No, that should not be that. We should analyze ourselves. We should not give that much of uh, prevalence to the boy, saying that okay, it is okay as long as he's good and as long as he's treating the not committing to violence, it is okay. No, that should not be the attitude. Now, how do we overcome these gender equalities? First and foremost is share the care. It is known that women do more domestic work from at home from early age itself. When they are at school going kids as your age itself, you should start helping your mother at home in any kind of household activities. Whether your mother or your father, whoever is doing any household activity, you should go ahead and start helping them. Mother should be appreciated for what she's been doing and respect her for all the work she's doing at home, and she should never be taken granted for. She should always be offered help. You should not think, okay, it is the mother's job to cook at home in the morning. She should only wake up in the morning, make breakfast, pack my lunch bag. No, that should not be the attitude. If you're older enough, go ahead, make your own simple breakfast. Help her in whatever things you can do in your home, in your way. So helping, it should not be, you should not wait for your parents to ask for help, whether it's a mom or a dad. You should go ahead and give them your help. Okay. And how hold yourself accountable. Okay. Respect any man or woman equally. Respect both genders equally. And if we do any mistake, okay, make sure you don't push it on the opponent. We should be responsible for our behavior, which is the same whether it is a boy or the girl. Now, we should change the notions of traditional masculinity. What is the notions of traditional? What do we think? We should break that ideology, like boys should not cry. They should always stay strong. They should not get emotionally attached to people. We should not, we are trying to grow a responsible human being here. We are not trying to make anybody the alpha male. So sensitive issues like men should not cry, all these things should not be brought, all this ideology should not be carried over. You being the next generation should not be carried over with the wrong ideology. You should never shy to express your emotions. Just because you're a boy doesn't mean you cannot cry or you cannot feel hurt if somebody teases you or somebody emotionally upsets you. So such kind of a stereotype should be broken, and everybody should be given equal chances. Similarly, we should respect other person's choice, whatever it is. We should never tease a person or judge or shame them based on the choices they make. It depends upon the person. They have, each individual is different. So they have their own opinions and everything. So never judge or shame any person based on the choice they make. So consent is very important. The clear word yes should always be taken for. It is very sensitive, and we should really respect that we need to give great importance to this consent. Any person, whether boy or girl, whatever it is, initially they might say yes, and after that they might think or they might reconsider their decision. So whatever it is, whatever they say at that point of time, they should be rected for. No means only no. It doesn't have any other meaning to that. When the word no is used by any gender, whether it is a boy or the girl, it should be respected. It is not like how they show in the movies. They say, no, no, if girl says no, that means she wants it. It means yes, no. That is not how it happens. When a girl or a boy, whoever say it no, it always means only no and nothing else. Okay. Sexual harassment, as in the previous madam was saying about sexual harassment. Now, sexual harassment, immediately what we think, okay, the girls have undergone sexual harassment. So yeah, most of the girls would have experienced sexual harassment at least once in their lifetime. Okay. But that doesn't mean boys are very free of them. Some boys do also are sexually harassed. Okay. So commenting on the even commenting on a person based on their dress or their behavior, that also amounts to sexual harassment. But if you see anybody who's been sexually harassed, okay, don't just stand there. Don't, as they said, be an active bystander. If you cannot go and dare in for a help, okay, always first comes in your safety first. So see whether you can help. If you cannot help, then go ask for help. Call the number, the call numbers have been given, 1098. All these numbers, it should be memorized, not only by you. You should go back home, you tell your friends who have not attended this program, you tell your siblings that such numbers exist, and enlighten them about this program. say such things happen. So don't ever be just a dormant person seeing somebody getting harassed. Be an active bystander. And whether the person who is harassing them, it can be your friend or a relative or whoever close to you, but still sexual harassment should not be left like that. We should always think and assess ourselves and check whether there are any gender stereotyping happening in our own house itself. Okay, like mom should take care of only the family, the daddy should go out and work and he should earn for the welfare of the family. No, women should not drive. If women drives it, she will not be able to drive the car properly. Okay, these are all small subtle things which we say normally when we are going out with friends. If you see a woman driving fast, you'll say, look at her, she's driving so fast. This is all normal, day-to-day languages, which I'm sure all of you would have heard too. But all these things is gender stereotyping. We should remove such attitude and all these kinds of ideologies from our brain at all. If someone shares their any experience, any toxic experience, as they already discussed with you in the previous slide, we should always lend our helping hand. We should listen to them. First and foremost is believe them, listen to them, and give them unconditional support, because that is what they need. Only if the people around them believe them and give them support, they will be able to come out and speak. Otherwise, they'll be scared what the other people will think, and they will be undergoing all the emotional torture by themselves. So always listen to them, believe them, and support them. See, when you look at this picture, look at Google. If you type women should, look what the Google says. Women should stay at home, women should not work, women should be seen and not heard. See, if we will be thinking that, yeah, this is 21st, 22nd century, such things don't happen. But this is how it is. Such ideologies should change from our mind. You being the tender mind, you being the young generations, you should take forward such ideologies and believe that there is no gender differences. Both boys and girls are the same, and they have same kinds of emotions and everything. Okay, we should always be the change and never shy from being the first person to start the change in the community. You might think you are the first person, but there might be hundreds of people waiting for that one person to start this change. So always say courageous together and say no to violence against women. So hashtag Dheera together. So let us move on to the next topic, that is peer pressure. Okay, so decoding peer pressure. So what is this peer pressure? Do you know what does that mean, peer pressure? Now, peer pressure means that somebody is pressurizing you. It can be an influence of any one person or the entire society or the surrounding people on you to do something which you're not interested. That is called as peer pressure. For example, like if your friend is, if I am going to buy a cycle, okay, I want a bicycle. Now I go and I tell my friends, okay, now you also buy a cycle. Maybe he might be interested, he might not be interested, but I pressurize him. No, you should buy a cycle. You should tell your parents to get you a cycle. Otherwise, we cannot be friends. I will not talk to you. Now, this kind of pressure you put on some other person, that is called as peer pressure. Okay, so our peer pressure, we are going to divide into 4 topics. In that, we are going to discuss about identifying the toxic environment, good touch versus bad touch, concept of consent, which we have already little bit covered, and the power of no, which also we have already covered little bit. Okay, so identifying the toxic environment. So what is peer pressure? This I've already explained to you. It can be an influence that we have on each other to confirm the behavior or personal habits of the group. Okay, So what are the types of peer pressure? There are different types of pressure. One is spoken. Like I said, you directly pressurize the other person to do something. So openly persuades the other person. That is called spoken. Unspoken is when you tell them and they don't listen to you, or they don't give in to your ideology. So what do? You start neglecting them. If they call you, you give them a hard face, you don't talk to them. That is kind of unspoken peer pressure. Now, direct means if you directly force a person, like if a group of friends, you're talking and you are in another group of friends who's smoking. Now they hand the cigarette to you and they tell you to smoke. Now you are not interested in smoking, but they're telling you to decide to take a smoke then and there. So you are pressurized to take the decision to tell no or yes then and there. Now that is called as a direct pressure. Indirect pressure is once you say no, your friend starts changing their behavior. They start forming a different group. They start talking bad about you and they segregate you from the entire group. That is called as the unspoken peer pressure. Negative is when they pressurize you, that is to do something that is against your moral code. That is called as negative peer pressure. Positive peer pressure is just to feel influence, which is healthy and responsible. Now, this pressure and giving advice is totally different things. Okay. You can always give suggestions and motivations that are different, but pushing them to do something in which they are not interested to do, that is called as peer pressure. What is toxic environment? Toxic environment is what kind of a surroundings you are in. You should always you should always be aware of what is happening around you. How the other person is treating you. Are they giving you respect? Are they treating you well? If you feel that if a friend, even though if the friend is very, very close to you, is not treating you well, or is putting you down in front of others, or is teasing you along with the other friends, or if it doesn't treat you with respect, now that that shows you are in a toxic environment. Such kind of a person does not deserve your friendship at all. Even though you have been friends with them for many years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, the moment you decide or you sense that the person is not respecting you, then that person doesn't deserve your friendship at all. It is always better to go out of the toxic environment immediately once you sense it, because it's not going to give you, it's not going to help you with anything at all. You should never think twice to come out of the group, even though if they're not giving you a healthy and a comfortable feel. So how to avoid such uncomfortable situations? So all the signs have been already taught to you, all these danger signs if you're in danger and everything. But apart from that, how can you prevent all those? Always let your parents or your siblings know when you go out with your friends. Now, if you're going out with your friend and there's another other group of people, they are joining, boys or girls or whoever it is. Okay. If you know only one person and if you don't know the other person and you're not interested to grow, tell some reason and then move out from the group. It is not, you're not bound to any confirmation that where if you leave with your friend, you should stay with them forever. If your friend is enjoying that group and you're not comfortable, just tell them, give them a polite reason saying that you have some work and everything. Just move out from the group. If you do such things, then you can avoid any uncomfortable situation that might happen or might not happen. We are not sure. But when you should be very aware of what is happening around you. In case of any danger, if you sense anything, then don't feel anything to call 100. Dial 100 if you sense any kind of danger, and be confident. Never shy away from saying no. If you be confident to say no whenever you're not comfortable with what is happening around you. So what are the different attitudes of people whom you should avoid in the opposite sex has been clearly listed. Okay. So go through this, ask your teacher and then go through this. These are the kinds of people who have toxic behavior, and it is better to keep them at a distance. Never encourage a person with such kind of a toxic behavior. It is not good for you, as toxic environment will never help you in a better way. What should you learn to say. You should always learn to put boundaries, even when you're with your best friend or a group of people. You should learn to put your boundaries and stay by your decision. For example, if you're not interested, learn to say no. Maybe if you're not, if you need not be directly saying no. You tell them, like, you can use phrases like, I need time to think. I'm not comfortable right now. I don't want to talk to you right now. I have little work to do. So always say such polite conversation so that you will not hurt the other person, but still you're out of that uncomfortable situation. If you're forced to confront the person alone for any kind of thing, always don't forget to ask for help. Don't worry that people will misjudge you. They might show you that it is your mistake. No, always ask for help. In the same way, if someone gives you such a reply that don't want to come with you, they don't want to talk to you, you should be ready to accept it. It is not only you telling them. If somebody gives you that answer, you should be ready to accept that answer. You should be ready to accept and accept their decision and then act accordingly. Okay. So always think of a polite way, convey your thoughts to the other person, but you should never compromise. Okay. Now, good touch versus bad touch. This is very important. All your siblings, your friends, everybody at home, you please go and tell them about this good touch and bad touch. Okay. So red, the areas which is colored with red is definitely a no-no. It is considered as a bad touch. You should never touch that areas without the other person's permission. Good touch, the green areas are the only areas where you can touch the other person. The other areas which has been marked, okay, the person might like or might not like. But always remember, only the green areas, you can only just hold the hand or extend your hand and see what is their response. That is the only way. And remember, if you see anybody undergoing a bad touch, or if you see somebody is doing bad touch to anybody, don't be afraid. Go confront them. Or if you're thinking that the other person or the group of people, you cannot confront them alone, then go definitely call for help, bring the person, and obviously help the person who are really in need. Okay. So bad touch, you might think the bad touch is only for strangers and for people who don't know, or when you're going in the bus or school, I mean autos and everything. No, it is not only applied to them. It is applied to all the people, even your uncle or your aunt, your cousins, or even the people who have been working in your house for a long time, school watchman, driver, anybody. Bad touch is always on your bad touch, and you should always refrain from such kind of an individual. You should always learn to say no and yes whenever necessary. Okay. Always. And always ask for consent. If you're asking the other people, don't assume that just because the other person is keeping quiet to whatever you say, it doesn't mean that the other person has accepted it. You ask, is it okay? Ask them, clear question. Ask them, is it okay? If they say yes, then go ahead. If they say no, I think, I'm not sure, then all these things means no. They're just trying to say no to you. Okay, so yes will only mean yes. There's only one word yes, there's nothing else. But any other words, any other topic, any other phrases they use, all the phrases, for example, I'm not ready, leave me alone, all these things, everything means no. Always ask for consent and never assume that consent is given quietly. Okay, and whatever the consent is given, whether it is no or yes, okay, just respect the consent and always be polite when the person is saying no to your pressure or anything. But never give in to peer pressure. Don't look at the surroundings and say, what will they think of me tomorrow if I go to school, and if all of them are going out for movie and I'm not going for a movie, what will they think of me? They'll say, okay, she's not a good friend, she's not enjoying. No, always never think of all those things. A good friend or a good relation will always respect what you want. If they're not comfortable with you going to the movie, they'll respect you, but they will never tease you ahead. So always remember that. So always say, don't say no, leave and everything. Just say in a polite way, say them, or you can just tell them that, oh, I forgot to do something. Oh, you didn't tell them, oh, my mother told me to call you, I have to go home immediately. Or just change the ideology. If you cannot stand up to peer pressure directly, you can give them all these phrases, you can use them, deviate the subject, and then get out of the situation. Okay, so dreaming of a better future for our future generation. There is a saying, I want every girl to know that her voice can change the world. Okay, so even if one girl opens up, there are lots of girls who are willing to follow. So always say courageous together and Dheera together. Say no to violence. Thank you.
You all understood what is and anybody come forward and how to avoid bad situation. So you anticipate the bad situation, how to avoid it. Situation or any bad situation, you make sure this is treatment so that you will be aware of that and you might know there are many facts like this so that when you internet technology, hopefully it changes the world and we can save ourselves from bad situations. Say that we are not for one situation during animal which was kind of showing the restricted that we can take but person anyone who knows the virus and so what I learned from this week, which we should not blame them first. We should understand what they are doing first and what they want to express to us. We should understand first. Then we should ask what we have to do and what they have to do. When we believe we should not about the situation or nothing to make millions from and we should encourage them. We should not blame them. We should stand support them back. And we should first